Sharing your life story requires courage. And Nisreen and Iman, the two women, in Taste the Sweetness Later, displayed that courage as they spent more than 250 hours telling their stories to me. Nisreen is a Kurdish Iraqi who grew up under the dictatorship of Saddam Hussein, whose eyes were watching every word and movement of her family. She marries, has a child just before the U.S. invasion of Iraq. Her husband becomes an interpreter for the U.S. Army. And then anti-U.S. factions threaten his life and his family's life. He's on the hit list. He and the family escape to the U.S. and settle in Colorado. Here's an excerpt from the book after this family has become U.S. citizens. Almost never have I lived in peace and security. Instead, I've always lived with fear. Saddam was president when I was born, but even now, I'm scared to leave the door unlocked. Sometimes when I'm upstairs and can't sleep, I think I see someone coming into the room. I didn't feel that way in our first days here because everything was new, wonderful, and safe. I didn't have to worry at all. Then we got the connection to television channels in Iraq and others in the Middle East. At times I would remember everything, and I was afraid again. But you know what helps me to fight that fear? Every night before I go to sleep, I think about everything and thank God I got here and that my family is safe. I see my kids and my husband next to me, and I don't want anything else from this life. Iman is a Libyan who grows up in the shadow of madman Muammar Gaddafi. She persists in her dream of higher education by fighting for a scholarship that will take her from her sheep-herding family of 22 siblings to graduate study in the U.S. This scene that I'd like to read takes place a year after her marriage and on the first day of the revolution against Gaddafi in Libya. Sammy was sitting on a cushion in the living room of their new house, fingering his prayer beads as he stared at the flickering light on a large TV screen, accompanied by the halftones of Arabic music. He had heard that Supreme Leader Gaddafi was going to give an important TV speech to the Libyan nation that night. Maybe we'll learn what's really happening, he thought to himself. Like a fulfilled promise, the TV screen was suddenly focused on the green Libyan flag, and the music changed to the marching sounds of the national anthem. Iman hurried into the living room and settled onto cushions next to Sammy. Iman placed her hands on her belly to comfort and protect the baby boy inside her. Suddenly, Gaddafi's Botox-puffed face, under a shock of curly dyed black hair, jumped onto the screen with a blast of words and full volume. "Who are you? Who are you?" he shouted. "You're the drug takers, the jihadis, the rats," he ranted, threatening the demonstrators in the streets. In the background, a crowd of supporters jumped up and down, waving green flags in response to his invective. "You people taking Helluwasa drugs, you've been made crazy." Slamming his fist on the podium, he shouted, "Zenga, Zenga, we will cleanse Libya inch by inch, alleyway by alleyway, person by person, street by street, and house to house." Iman shivered and pulled her shawl closer around her shoulders and over her belly. Sammy leaned forward, his nose almost touching the TV screen, as if his eyes could pierce through Gaddafi and learn the truth of what was taking place in his country.